Hello, lacrosse fans, and welcome to the Toronto Rock Athletic Center in Oakville, Ontario, as we continue with Week 5 of the Arena Lacrosse League. I'm Lance Wynn alongside my broadcast partner, Blair Campbell. Glad to have you with us as we get set for the Whitby Steelhawks and the Toronto Monarchs. Starting goalies for tonight's game. For the Steelhawks, it'll be Bailey Brown out of Milton, Ontario, and the veteran Craig Wendy will handle the net-minding duties for Toronto. Head coaches, Brad MacArthur. On the Whitby bench, Gavin Prout is the co-head coach. Their assistants are Chad Culp and Ryan McMichael. And for the Monarchs, the reigning coach of the year, Blaine McCauley. He's assisted by Mike Falconer, Ryan Marshall, Spencer Janes, and Matt Pelkey. Officials for today's game, Mark Thompson is the crew chief. He's joined by Kyle Coulter and Dwayne Lelandberg. And Blair, as we get set to start here, you got a Whitby team at 0-4, a Monarchs team at 2-2. Coaches had a little bit to say prior to game time.
Well, basically what the Whitby team's got to do is they've got to get their transition going both ways, both from offense or defense to offense and get back from defense or from offense to defense. The biggest thing both teams have talked about is they got to stay out of the sin bin. Can't have it. One of the things, talking with Gavin Prout before the game, he said to me, one of the biggest things we're not doing right now is our offense is standing still. We got no movement. And when you got no movement of players, that stagnates the ball, that stagnates your offense, and you might as well just turn around and hand the ball to the other goaltender. And the one other thing he said to me is we have not been doing is we got to talk on defense. And communication, as you know as well as I do from your background, hey, talking is huge when you're playing defense. You got to know where everybody is. As far as Toronto goes, 3 very short, simple points from Coach McCauley. Discipline, number 1. Number 2, it's a full 60-minute game. And number 3, their work ethic, they got to get it up.
Well, we'll see if those key points come into play here as the Steelhawks will open up with possession. They will get their offensive unit out there and go to work. McMahon with an underhand shot that's steered aside by Wendy. And now the Monarchs with their first possession of the game. They'll move it up over the timeline, and the offense will get set, and they will go to work. Just underway here at the track in Oakville, Ontario, as that pass goes awry, loose in the corner. Good effort, but the Steelhawks are going to come up with it, and they're going to move it up in transition. Riley Palmer looking for an opening. Had a notion, cocked it back. They'll reset it at the top, swing it around right side. Another sidearm. That one stopped again. That time it was Cole Spear. And it will come back up with the Monarchs. And like we alluded to off the top, Blair, you got a team in Whitby struggling a bit, but it's also a team that hasn't had their regular lineup out there in either of these 4 games.
Well, no doubt, but what I've seen, we mentioned it before about getting, whoa, he's going right there for sure. He just ran right over the goalie. But the first 2 possessions they've had, that's the third, but that was kind of a quick transition on a delayed or over and back.
For sure, as it's going to be Adam Peroni that's going to go to the box, 2 minutes. And this is the first Visionware power play of the game. And it goes to the Monarchs as they will work it around the horn. Jordan Dance back in the lineup at the top. Good quick hard shot from Sam Potsma. And they regain the rebound, get a fresh clock to work with. Dance does a good job facilitating. They work the ball around well, as this power play has been very effective here in the early going. Power play of over 100%. Unfortunately, the Toronto penalty kill is at -8. So you can see the discrepancy, and hence the reason we talked about discipline off the top. And Coach McCauley knows, stay out of the box, you got a good chance of winning the game. Steelhawks come around with just over a minute left in the man short situation. Dylan Hutchinson's going to continue to rag it and kill some clock. And with 5 on the shot clock, he'll get it close to the line and then end up flipping it deep in the corner. And with 46 seconds to go, the Monarchs now will have a chance with the man advantage.
Something that was just done, we talked about it in our last broadcast, that 5-second situation. Their bench was yelling 5 seconds, 5 seconds, 5 seconds, and he was watching the time clock and dumped it to the corner.
So good heads-up play there as Jordan Dance again will quarterback the remaining 20 seconds of this power play. We're scoreless here. Moving in and finding the corner, and as we say that, it's Ed Renault.
They got the ball movement, got the goalie movement, got a good shot from outside.
And that's what a good facilitating quarterback will do for you, as the Steelhawks now will get possession in the offensive end. Doesn't last long. Stripped on the play. Monarchs in transition now, moving it up. No numbers, but splitting that D and going to the corner. Outstanding work by Samuel Clare, as he will put the Monarchs up 2-0.
The glove side low.
And Blair, that's something that we'll see, a transition goal like that we would have seen back in the day. Now, not so much with the offensive defensive alignment, but good to see some transition there and see someone capitalize on it. Steelhawks now moving it up over the timeline with just over 11 minutes to go here, opening quarter.
The good part with that is that they recognize the fact that the fast break was there in transition.
And I think sometimes that's an issue too. Guys will pull it out when really it's only one guy to beat. If you have one guy to beat, that's a natural thing. It's when you've got to beat two guys that you may want to rethink that.
Yeah.
So here come the Monarchs now. Leading by 2, and a big save there, another big save. So 2 big ones from Bailey Brown. That backhand pass goes awry and ball loose. Fighting for it is Cody Hamley.
Great loose ball presence by Jordan or Dance there. Great loose ball presence.
Picked up by Gulch Salinas, and he will find his way to the bench, and the Whitby offense now will go to work. Luke Pilcher, kid out of Oakville, playing at home, goes hard to the net, off the crossbar, and the Steelhawks managed to get that rebound momentarily, but out come the Monarchs.
That was all created, that break on the goal, by his first step and his speed.
Nathan Ithier doing a good job of carrying it over the timeline, flips to Potsma. Postma will take it to the net, had a notion, danced around the crease, rolled back, lost it, and managed to get an interference call. And if you don't know about that Luke Pilcher kid, he's a good one out of Oakville. He's a rookie in the Arena Lacrosse League, and glad to have his skill level here, as I know the Whitby Steelhawks coaching staff are glad to have him as well. Round the horn it goes, 15 on the shot clock, plenty of time, good hesitation, flip, underhand, stopped by Brown. He'll look to send the outlet out, and he does.
That was an unnecessary shot. He could have taken another 5-6 steps in and had it been like 3 feet off the crease before he let that shot go. That's how far off the defense was.
And you know in this game, you got to be the closer you are, the better. Good move sliding back in, but a bad pass. So Jeff Fernandez did most things right, as there's 5 on the shot clock, going to have to let it go. That one's wide, goes over the timeline, violation. Will be possession to the Monarchs. And we're going to have ourselves our first officials timeout. Set to go here with just under 9 minutes to go, opening quarter. Monarchs leading by 2 as they go to work on offense. Dance harassed, he'll cut back in, take a good shot on target, stopped by Brown. Good rebound, grab, but that shovel attempt not going to go very far, and we're going to have ourselves another Visionware power play. And it looks like the Monarchs will go back to work with a man advantage. We're taking on the Peterborough Timbermen, and that game, of course, tied at 9 going to the 4th, was ultimately decided by power plays. And again, second power play marker of the game, and it's Riley Morgan with the bounce shot, and it's 3-0 Monarchs.
When he stepped up, he dropped the ball to the fellow who was on the crease. Defense couldn't get to him.
Well, you know as well as I do, Blair, often on the power play, it's not the guy that scores the goal that's done the work. It's the guy that set him up. And I think that's the case there, as looks like a mask is...
His mask's come undone.
It's come undone. And they're going to call that down, and that's going to be Monarchs ball, as Good fight there from Riley Palmer, but not able to retain possession as the Monarchs will come, and that's the kind of stick work that these referees are working on, as going to the hard bounce shot and sneaking that one through.
I was wondering when this was going to happen. Every one of these goals has been a low, right along the floor, bounce shot, and the change is being made right now.
So John Vesna gets on the score sheet, his first of the game, and it looks like Bailey Brown is going to give way, and it looks like Patrick Pollock that will take over here in the opening quarter. So a tough start for Bailey Brown, who played outstanding last week. And if you tuned in for last week's games, we only had half a schedule due to weather. Game canceled in Paris, one in Six Nations at the ILA. The Oshawa games were played, so we are in the midst of week 5, but of course some teams won't have 5 games played. So the Steelhawks now go to work looking for something. Good attempt, and they get one, just what the doctor ordered. Dylan Hutchinson gets the Steelhawks on the board, and they now trail this one 4-1.
But once again with Hutchinson, great first step. You can't say enough, you cannot beat speed. We've talked about that before, and that's exactly what happened. That defense gave him one step to the outside, and he was gone. He was by him.
Well, we spoke prior to the game time about how closely related the philosophy of this box lacrosse is to basketball. And basketball, you often use the reference as an explosive first step, and that was a prime example right there, Blair. So, like you said, speed matters, as Jordan Dance split the D, took an extra check for his creativity, and the Steelhawks now will try and get it over the timeline and go to work. Pilcher will wait for the troops, find an open man, skip it across to the right side. Curlin, shot on the run from Garrett Eady, as that ball is loose. Going to be a one-on-one battle. And Pilcher, good stick skills, scoops that up, and he'll lug it over the timeline with plenty of time on the shot clock. McMahon will swing it around. Pilcher fakes, curls back, flips it, turns it over, and the Monarchs now will come back the other way with numbers 2-on-1. Matt Higgins takes it himself. That one's steered aside. And here come the Steelhawks now with 6:20 to go opening quarter.
Not a good play when you've got that much time left in the shot clock.
And I think there's a fine line, Blair, between knowing when to attack in transition and knowing when to pull it back out and set up the offense.
An attack is one thing, but when you take a shot from 45 feet out with 30 seconds left in the shot clock, 20 plus seconds left in the shot clock, that's not smart lacrosse.
You're right. Coach probably isn't going to be too happy. Good job, good hustle by Hutchinson as he forces the turnover in the forecheck. Working around the crease, dotted line, pulls it back out, and they'll reset the offense. Travis Zabalks. More than a handful of good defense as it swung back. Zabalk sidearm blocked. So an outstanding job by Samuel Blair as things getting a little mixed up in the defensive zone. Monarchs are going to come away with it. Cooler heads prevail, and they'll bring it up over the timeline, and it's Tanner Buck. He'll kick it back out, but he's stripped. Good job taking it hard is Corey Upshaw. Upshaw playing his first game in the Arena Lacrosse League. Does a good job to retain possession, and he will find his way to the bench and let the offense go to work.
Not the time to go off with 15 seconds left and you're deep in the corner opposite your bench.
Crossbar, good hard overhand from Cole Spear, and they're going to get a fresh clock with 4:50 to go here opening quarter. Pilcher. They'll dump it off. They work on the on the left side with McMahon. McMahon will tuck it. Sidearm. Wendy steers that aside. Fresh clock. Zabalk's in there working. Not hard enough as the Monarchs had it momentarily. Now they do. Bring it up, clear path, but transition defense is good. And Tyler Simmons will pull it back out and retreat. Postma. Postma, of course, one of the offensive threats on this team, came in leading the team with 20 points, 5 goals, 15 assists. And that's going to be definitely a Visionware power play here. It's going to be 2 minutes for holding.
I think the only thing he forgot to do was get the rope up and hog tie his feet together.
Cody McMahon, the quarterback, he's out there with Pilcher. Pilcher's on the left side, and that one goes off the post. Rebound corralled, and a fresh 30 to go. Garrett Eady out there as well. He's on the right side in the shooter spot. They'll interchange, work it around, do the circle, and get it back. Good job dumping low. Look for the cutter. McMahon goes backhand. Wendy, good save. And he'll look for the outlet. Good bounce pass. Got to hurry. And they do.
Just.
So the Monarchs now with 1:15 to kill here in the minor penalty. And they'll look to wind that clock down. Dance, very elusive. On the run and slips through the 5-hole. Certainly not the most impressive goal. I'm sure Patrick Pollock would like that back. But Jordan Dance, either way, his first of the game, and it's 5-1.
There's not much you can say about that goal. It was just basically, it went off his shin pad. I guess he had his pad turned the wrong way. He thought it was square, went off it and went in the net. You could hear it even from where we are up here. But, I mean, it was one of those situations. There wasn't a lot of time left in the shot clock. You might as well, if you're not going to put it in the corner, put it towards the net.
So a shorthanded marker for the Monarchs. And again, I mean, Blair, you've seen a lot of lacrosse, so you've seen that happen before, and it's just something unfortunate. If you don't have that 5-hole covered, then unfortunately you things like that can happen.
And I don't really think the goalie was expecting the shot from that point.
I don't think so either. Dance was on the run as McMahon in the slot couldn't handle the pass cleanly, and out come the Monarchs. Toronto will set things up here with 20 seconds to go.
Shot clock's matching the time left on the penalty.
So looking to kill this. Bad pass, chased down by Salinas. He continues to work, has it knocked out of his stick, but the Steelhawks now will move it up. Pilcher doesn't have numbers, so he'll wait. Under 2 minutes to go here, opening quarter. Pilcher will find a trailer in McMahon. They'll swing it around. Now remember, this Whitby team is going to look quite a bit different as this season goes on once they get guys back from injury. Great pass. Pilcher down low on the crease to McMahon. That's going to be a shot clock violation with 1:30 to go here, opening quarter. Monarchs in control, and we're going to have some more penalties as Cody McMahon mixing it up in there, a little undersized. You know, when both guys go off, you tend to.
Well, that's kind of an even up, but I mean, Cody McMahon, that's not his game. Cody McMahon's a goal scorer, good ball hawk, and he's got to keep himself out of stuff like that, though.
Well, you figure that's a good trade for the Monarchs. Going to the far corner, a beauty goal. So Ed Renault lighting the lamp for the second time in this game, and it's a commanding 6-1 lead for the Monarchs. The Steelhawks, 1:17 to go here, and Steelhawks off the draw will bring it back to move it up. Matt Kim will dump it off, and the Steelhawks with plenty of work to do here. Go to work on offense. Looking tough pass in traffic. Wendy, big save. Ball loose again. Backhand Wendy, another big save. So Garrett Eady robbed a couple times. 45 seconds to go in the opening quarter. Monarchs trying to add to their lead. Up by 5. 35 seconds. 15 on the shot clock. Big shot, and finding the mark was Campbell Parker, picking the corner.
Realistically, at this level, they're shots that should be stopped or at least getting a piece of.
I don't think you're telling you're saying anything that these goalies don't realize. And again, it seems everything that's on net is finding the back of it. So they've had possessions. They just haven't been able to get stops. And the goaltending has been a tad bit suspect. And they'll pull the goalie with under 10 to go. Shot clock is off. They get the extra attacker out there. Big shot wide of the mark. And that's going to do it for the quarter. A big quarter for the Monarchs as they lead this one 8-1. Back in this game.
I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall over at that bench at the quarter. But, I mean, I think, thank God we don't have a goal judge because the one to our left might be getting a little bit of a break this quarter.
Couldn't agree with you more, as that's loose in the neutral zone. Scooped up by the Monarchs, momentarily lost, and regaining that and bringing it up is Edie. Edie hesitates, splits two defenders, as we had coincidental minors, and we'll play 5 aside here, as the Steelhawks will go to work on offense. Pilcher tees that up. Wendy with the good shoulder save. Rebound. Pilcher tries to tuck it in. Wendy again up to the task. So Craig Wendy's been outstanding between the pipes up to this point, as the Monarchs now will lug it over the timeline in Claire, and a beautiful job as Samuel Claire notches his second of the game, and it's 9-1. Good off the draw, and possession-wise, not too bad. The problem has been, though, well, you look at what Renault's done. He's got 2 goals this game. They've both been the same.
Yeah.
In transition, he's hesitated a bit. Nothing special, but gone hard to the net, and no one stopped him. Steelhawks now in Zabalks, flip down low to the crease. Shot stopped by Wendy, and back come the Monarchs in transition. Tanner Bach with his second of the game, and they're making it look easy now, and I tell you, you got to stop the bleeding, Blair, but
Toronto's got the long change, and that was a great play coming out of the bench. The only thing that made that was the guy coming hard off the floor to the bench from D to O.
That's where it was, the space was created, and as you can see, good shot though, and McMahon held up just a tad there by a convenient shirt grab. Ball loose in the corner.
We've had another goaltender change back again.
So it looks like back to Bailey Brown.
Yep.
No, sorry, back to Patrick Pollock. Again, Renault, this time crease called on the play. So Samuel Claire trying that one more time. Sorry, not Renault. And now the Steelhawks will bring it up over the timeline. 12:45 to go. Second quarter, Monarchs in complete control here. Steelhawks looking for their second goal of this game. Haven't been able,
Gavin was all over the officials there in the aspect of they had one called on them in the first quarter for running the goalie. Just made contact with the goalie and no call. Can't blame him for the question.
No, you can't blame him for the question. I think that's grasping at straws just a tad. There's a difference between intent. But again, Gavin's coaching his teams behind a whole bunch, and he's going to try to do something to get a call or two, and that's what coaches do.
100%.
Monarchs now working that right side as Postma lost it, and back in transition come the Steelhawks. Salinas will curl out, dump it off. Steelhawks need to just slow down here and try to get, at the very least, a good shot. That is a good shot attempt. No reset. Under 10 to go on the shot clock. Got to tee it up again. That one's wide again. They corral it. 5 on the shot clock. Looking for a shot. That goes off the post. And Wendy gets the rebound, and he'll move it up.
Wendy's doing a great job controlling the rebounds. They're staying in the crease so he can get to him. 8 seconds. There we go.
8-second call. Good defense by the Steelhawks. They'll move it up quickly in transition. 2-on-2. Hit the trailer. Zabalks. Bounce shot wide. got to start by hitting the net first and foremost and back the other way all day. But Campbell Parker not able to bury his second of the game. Monarchs, though, come up with the loose ball, lose it on the double team, get it back. They'll reset. 14 on the shot clock.
Hate to be the bearer of bad tidings. That wasn't a lost ball. That was an actual pass.
Okay.
He rolled it along the floor to the guy coming out.
All right. Good pass then. Worked out okay. Finally a save, and they'll move it up.
No. Why? You just completely lost the fast break. Cody was wide open.
Well, you know what? Sometimes when you're down by 9, you might want to set things up first and foremost, and maybe that's what the philosophy is here. Try to get something going from a disciplinary standpoint as the Monarchs lose at that time. It's scooped up and moved up. Good soft bounce on the carpet, 2-on-1, going hard. Couldn't handle the pass. McMahon. Wendy will send the outlet, and back come the Monarchs. Tyler Halls. He'll retreat to the bench. They'll get their offense out there. Dance. Slide over, talk back. That shot's blocked, loose, no reset. Steelhawks come away with it. They'll move it up in transition, but no numbers. Good job by Cody Hamley. Good decision. Pull that out, wait for some help. As Cody McMahon well over on the half boards on the left side. Has some room. Will tuck, look for an opening, lose it, get it back. 10 on the shot clock. 9.5 to go here in the second. McMahon looks to dump it. Good defense. That underhand steered aside by Wendy. Steelhawks, though, will get a fresh clock to work with. McMahon. Loading up. Good stop by Wendy. He'll look for the outlet, and he'll get it and move it back up.
Once again, great control off the rebound, off his chest, right into his stick.
You're right about that. Big difference when you don't allow a rebound, and almost lost it was Postma. Got it back now, working on the right side. Kicks it back out. They swing it around to the left. Dance left it. Good stick check there as shot clock winding down now, and it'll be possession, and we'll have ourselves an official's timeout. Set to go here again with 8:40 to go in the second quarter. Steelhawks will bring it up. Pilcher will swing it around, start things on the right side. Pilcher comes across, good shot again, good save by Wendy. Rebound corralled by the Monarchs, they'll move it up in transition. Claire has already got 2 goals, comes back for the third. And we've seen games like this, Blair, where sometimes the Avalanche, it starts with something small and then leads to 1, 2, 3, and all of a sudden now you find yourself down double digits. But tough on the goalies. A lot of times they don't get a chance to get a feel.
Yeah.
And once those balls start finding the back of the net, awfully tough to get some rhythm. That doesn't explain, though, the amount of shots taken by the Steelhawks that haven't hit the net. And, I mean, give Wendy credit for sure, but I think it's important to make him work each and every time, too.
I also think you got to give credit to the Steelhawks offense because they're doing exactly what the coaches have asked them to do with their movement, both personnel and ball-wise, offensively.
But again, it alludes to what you spoke about. Got to be good at both ends of the floor. And if you're struggling at one, unfortunately, it may not matter what you do at the other end.
Yeah.
You just can't seem to make up ground. Monarchs still working with a fresh clock here and sizing things up.
It's that 1 step forward, 2 steps backwards.
That pass right inside, and you give that to Jordan Dance on the crease, and it's lights out, and that's exactly what happened there. I don't know. I think if you gave Jordan Dance a crack like that at every goalie in the league, that he would probably score 6 of the 7 times. Steelhawks, though, still struggling, still fighting. 7 minutes to go here in the second. Good stop by Wendy. And again, Wendy up to the task like a wall in between those pipes. Ball loose in the corner. Interference going to be the call, and it's going to be Whitby ball. You just got to hope that these Steelhawks can find a way to crack that Wendy armor, and they do. A long shot from Adam Peroni. And a much-needed goal, and it's 11-2.
Well, we'll see what it will take them or where it will take them from here, but that was a total complete screenshot. He put that right over the shoulder of two defenders. And you really can't at this point in time fault Wendy in that goal. It was a very well-placed shot coming off the shoulders for a full screen.
Well, based on the saves that we've seen Wendy make here in close proximity over the course of these last two quarters, that one looked like probably one of the easiest ones he's seen. But again, Blair, you throw a screen in there, and depending on the angle, if you can't see it, you can't stop it unless it hits you.
I mean, what else can go wrong for the Steelhawks? That was a situation where they had the shot. The man was on the opposite side to pick the loose ball up. It hit the referee and ended up right in a Monarch stick.
Listen, you've been involved in games where you get every single lucky bounce and games where you don't get any of those bounces. Curling around, good save.
I've been in games where if it wasn't for bad luck, I wouldn't have had any.
See? So there you have it, sir. Given goes the Bulks. Need something out of him. A little more than that. McMahon digging for it. Zabalks again. Back to McMahon. Can't handle the pass, and it goes the other way. So fundamentals here, struggling with them are the Steelhawks. We were just praising the offense that time around. That's two missed passes that were pretty much right on the stick. Good crowd on hand here at the track for a Saturday evening game. Lance Wynn alongside. Just playing with you, Blair Campbell.
You stay on that side.
Tuned in here. No,
well, it's better to be in here than outside tonight.
You're absolutely right about that. Steelhawks, not sure why you would make that pass across to a guy that's covered, but either way, back the other way come the Monarchs. They'll dump it 2-on-1, 2-on-2, and Postma. Money in the bank, his first of the game.
Basically a riser off the, and once the goalie goes down, he can't get back up off the.
And we will have ourselves an officials timeout. 4:57 to go on the clock. That's what's left here in the second quarter. 2 quarters dominated by the Monarchs as they hold a commanding 10-goal lead here. Steelhawks will go to work on offense.
Right about now, I think the Steelhawks wish that was 4:57 in the fourth.
I think so, but they might think they want to have a little bit of life.
You never know.
Back, make things a little respectable. Tough pass across, scooped up in the slot. Wendy right there to make save. Another big save by Wendy. Boy, oh boy, he can cover that net in a hurry. You think you have an open corner, but you don't.
And he's not going to make it easy for Steelhawks to get back in here.
No, and we've seen Wendy struggle early on in the season as well.
Mm-hmm.
So Wendy, of course, a mainstay in the Arena Lacrosse League, one of the best goalies. As Dance is going to tiptoe around Gretzky's office, make a couple of moves, take a hard hit, come back around, falling, gets a shot off. Stop, though. And the Steelhawks now will bring it the other way. So they made Jordan Dance work. That's for sure.
Oh, Jordan's chirping one of the Steelhawks all the way off the floor.
Whitby now will go to work with 3:50 to go here in the first half. Curling around, swing it over to the left side. Quick shot, stopped by Wendy. He'll look for an outlet, and he'll send it to the back door, perfectly on the money. And the Monarchs now will set up the offense. 3:30 to go. Looking for the dump off. Nobody there was Renault. Picked up, though, by the Monarchs. Doing a good job back and forth. Flips it. Was Jordan Medeiros, and that's a shot clock violation. And the Steelhawks now will play it where it lies all the way down the other end deep in the offensive end. That shot stopped by Wendy. Got to put it on the carpet if you're going to beat him. You're certainly not going to beat him with those shots where there's no screen. In transition, Monarchs pull it out, swing it over to the right side, and they'll wait now and start their offense from the top. John Vezina. Sorry, Vezina. My apologies, John. As he loses it, and now the Steelhawks will bring it back with 2.5 to go. Riley Palmer has it stripped, but McMahon able to pick it up, and he'll hold on to it with 15 on the shot clock. Curling around, looking for an opening. Pilcher gets a screen, goes in, but it's blocked. And crease is called. It'll be Monarchs ball. So some good defense from Michael Gillen. And the Monarchs will go back to work with just under 2 minutes to go here in the half. Again, Claire has the hat trick this half. As he's caught up in the corner now. It's 2-on-2 and interference. They're going to call a trap ball. And it's going to be Steelhawks ball when these guys are finally peeled off each other. Whitby now will send it over to McMahon on the left side. Little floating pass. Good job of tracking that down was Jeff Fernandez.
That's one of those passes you got to hang on to coming off that screen. You got to.
There's been a few passes that it's been necessary to have. Zabalk's down low, posting up, wide of the mark. And that's going to be Monarch ball as they get it as it comes over the timeline. And they scoop it up and go to work with 1:10 to go here in the first half. Doing plenty of miles is Campbell Parker. His flip gets thrown away, and here come the Steelhawks in transition. Cody Hamley splits two with speed, goes to the corner. Big save, Wendy. Under a minute to go now here in the half. Wendy will zip it up over the timeline. Hesitation again. Claire looking for that corner. Big save this time by Pollock, and it's going to stay here. Monarchs ball, late hit. And with 36 seconds to go, Toronto is going to be careful to make sure they go in with this 11-goal lead into the break. Dance. Good save there. Ball loose. Monarchs still winning the loose ball battles. 15 left in the half. Again, another pile up in the corner as Jordan
get out of it.
Mixing things up there with Matt Kim. And it looks like Dance may have been the only one that wanted to. You certainly can. You can. So Jordan Dance is going to get 4 minutes. 8 seconds to go here as the Steelhawks are going to try to come a bit closer, but Wendy will get it and let the time run out. And we played 30 minutes here. And it's the Toronto Monarchs 13, the Whitby Steelhawks 2. All set to go here for third quarter action in a game that's been dominated by the Toronto Monarchs. And Blair, we could go through this stat or that stat, but I think the most telling stat is the shots on goal.
And it coming right out of the mouth of the coach from the Steelhawks, he says to me, he says, it's 13-2 and they've had 20 shots on net. So that pretty much sums it up.
It does. So percentage-wise, a bit of a struggle as the Steelhawks come out to start the third with a Visionware power play as Jordan Dance with the 4 minute, and again, they settle for a long shot from the top of the key by Cody McMahon. and the Monarchs now will bring it back.
That easily could have been back in the crease. His front foot was outside the crease.
So we'll see if the officials' crew tighten things up after a little bit of a late melee, some words exchanged at the end of the half, as the good stick check there will send the Steelhawks up the other way with just under 3 minutes to go in the dance penalty.
That was a great play by Salinas on defense. Just tapped that stick enough to get it out of here.
So around the horn it goes. Different look out there now. Going to the bounce shot. Wendy again. Good save. Lofts that one up. Soft bounce on the carpet. Tanner Buck find the trailer and looking 5-hole, but not this time. As a good save from Patrick Pollock, who starts things off here in the third, keeping his team at least trailing by only 11.
And that psychologically has to be good for the Steelhawks to see that. And the 5-hole where they've all been going, make that save, that's got to be a good psychological edge for him on the first shot.
That pass to Zabalks in tight, not a good one, and off to the races is Claire. He will pull it out and dump it off and retreat to the bench. Just under 2 minutes left in the dance penalty. So the Monarchs here will kill some clock, 15 on the shot clock.
This is a spot, too, where the Monarchs miss Dance, because this is where his specialty is when they're down a man.
Well, based on what Dance has done, good quick shot, got off, good save. And the Steelhawks now will bring it up. Anytime the Monarchs have an offensive possession, Jordan Dance is an asset. So to not have him out there on offense certainly hinders them.
Man advantage, the guy comes off the bench, the last man with 14 seconds to go on a shot clock.
Well, that's one of the differences between this game and you know, the way the game was played before. As a good bounce shot, so going back to fundamentals. Cole Spear, they change up the power play, get a marker, and move one goal closer.
He said the shots we're using are just straight shots. We're not getting anything there. That was a good bounce shot, though.
Well, you know what? Sometimes you got to bring it back to the fundamentals and work with, you know, a good overhand as opposed to your sidearm underhand, bounce shot as opposed to your straight, looking for the straight corner shot. And a good decision there as the Monarchs now will trot it over the timeline, and Eric Krapinski will find his way to the bench. The offense will go to work for the Monarchs. Dump down low, big save. So a good save from Pollock. Best save of this game so far for either Steelhawk goalie. And Whitby now will lug it over the timeline, and maybe that'll give them a wee bit of a spark, Blair. We'll see what happens here. Sometimes good defense leads to good offense.
And especially in the aspect where it's coming from the goaltender, which has been their spot that it hasn't come from in the first half.
So bounce shot tried again. This time it finds a screen, and the Monarchs now will bring it back the other way.
But that was great defense by Nathan Etche. He just stepped in and forced that shot to be straight down into the floor and up into the screening.
Sometimes if you can time that hit right when the offensive player is just about to release that ball, he's in a vulnerable spot. And you can change the trajectory of that shot by doing that. Going hard, and a great job from Postma. So Craig Wendy will earn himself some much-needed rest after an outstanding 2+ quarters. And it'll be Dryden Patty that is in. Not sure if you pronounce it Petit or Pate, but we'll go with Patty until we get corrected. Steelhawks in transition, 2-on-2. Bounce shot stopped. So first shot, and it looks like, sorry, it's not Dryden Patty, it's Joel Watson that's in goal. Thank you very much for correcting that, and we're going to have, I thought we were going to have it, but we're not. We're going to have a Visionware power play.
Slash penalty.
As Gutch Salinas will spend 2 minutes in the box. Well, you look at the amount of penalties here. This is just the 4th power play opportunity for the Monarchs. And they've got 2 power play goals as they work it around the horn here. So they've been very efficient. We spoke about that 13 goals on 20 shots. Now that's not an official count, but even from our vantage point, that seems pretty accurate. Good no-look dance back at the top. Steered aside, good save. Rebound Corral, they'll get a fresh clock. 1.5 to go in the penalty. Once again, around the horn it goes. Dance with Postma working on that right side. They interchange, switch back. Overhand, goes wide. No reset, 10 on the shot clock. And again, that time rebound corralled by Pollock. And he sends a tough outlet pass to Corey Upshaw.
Postma's real lucky there, too, because he just about stepped on that over and back line.
Steelhawks trying to kill off the final minute of this penalty. Trailer comes in. They close that door, swung around right side. It'll go back over to the left. Again, looks like the 2nd power play unit out there for the Monarchs getting some work. That long shot found nobody from Jason Crawford, and the Steelhawks now will come away with it. And no goal called on the crease. So Dylan Hutchinson with a little bit of indecisiveness probably should have just took it strong to the net in the first place. Probably would have got a better shot.
Well, actually, he didn't make a bad play because that little half-step slow up slowed the defenseman up, which gave him that first step to get by him. Unfortunately, that step was in the crease.
So the hesitation attempt as Dance and the Monarchs. And
what a great shot.
Underhand from Postma as he adds to his total. He's got 3 now. Off the draw, that's going to go all the way down to the Monarchs' end. And Watson will move it up. Drawing a crowd in the double team over there is Campbell Parker. Still has it. And everything but picked up and put into the Steelhawks bench. And after the whistle, some extra Carrick. As it looks like Dalton Lundy mixing things up, and we are going to have ourselves and our officials timeout. $7:55 to go here, 3rd quarter. Lance Wynn, Blair Campbell, along with JVI Productions. As we're at the track, the Toronto Rock Athletic Center here in Oakville, Ontario, for continuing coverage of Week 5 here in the Arena Lacrosse League. Luke Pilcher will swing it around to the right side. Steelhawks now working on offense. Up the middle, going straight up the gut was Cole Spear. Stopped by Watson, and he will send that ball up and away and over the timeline for the Monarchs.
One difference I'm noticing from the game we did 2 weeks ago here is Toronto's being much more deliberate getting the ball to the 8-second line.
No one being overly casual as they work it around, and a quick backhand from Dance. Gotta be lucky that didn't find the mark. And gonna have to hustle and hurry to get it over the timeline was Salinas. Did just that, and it'll be Cody McMahon. McMahon gets a screen, can't find an opening, finds a cutter, Zabalks, and Zabalks. Crease save, great save by Watson in close, and Zabalks stymied again. And roughed up and closed the door on Krapinsic. And the Steelhawks force a turnover and they move it back up. 6:30 to go here in the 3rd. On the run, steered aside. Rebound goes right to the Steelhawks. They get a fresh clock. Pilcher will wait for the fifth offensive weapon out there. They swing it around, work the right side. That shot stopped, almost back in. Monarchs do a good job, though, to move it up, and they'll get it over the timeline. Tyler Halls draws a crowd. He gets stripped by Pilcher. He'll move it up. 3-on-3. Look for an opening, wait for some help. Pilcher working, goes hard, diving, and crease called, so a good attempt. Toe on the line, though, and the Monarchs now will bring it up the other way with 5.5 to go in the third.
The unfortunate part where they're getting that roll and that step, they're getting it too close to the crease and not leaving themselves enough room.
And doing that shot's a bit of an art, as great grab by Jordan Dez. Unfortunately, if he was on the diamond, it would be impressive. Not so much on the carpet. Steelhawks now in the offensive end. Need something out of Cody McMahon. Haven't gotten anything out of him today. As that ball loose, scooped up by the Monarchs, and Buck will race over the line. Put on the air brakes, start up again, and kick it back out. Dance. Can't handle the pass, but he'll corral it with 10 on the shot clock. Wrong stick side, does a swim move, good save off a good shot, and they're going to call that a crease ball. And we're going to have ourselves another official's timeout. Luke Pilcher will bring it up over the timeline, and the Whitby offense now will do their best to go to work, sniffing that one 5-hole. Good job of closing the wickets by Watson, makes another save, and the Monarchs now will try and get over the timeline. It's floated. Good job to take away Pilcher's stick, but Monarchs continue to fight. Steelhawks, they'll come up with the loose ball. Dan Ball. Low pass, but good hands to handle it. Skip that across. Down low, wide open. Good save from point blank. So Grant Scott with a golden opportunity, and we're going to have ourselves another Visionware power play.
It's going against the Steelhawks, too. It's number 12 has got 2 for a slash. Not a good penalty from 200 feet away from your own net.
No, I think Scott was a little frustrated not being able to capitalize on that attempt in close, and decided to do a little stick work in retaliation, and in turn he'll be able to spend 2 minutes thinking about himself and what he did. Monarchs now will go back to work on the power play. They've got 2 power play goals and a short-handed marker, and Postma comes with that underhand again, didn't miss by much. As Pollock able just to get a shoulder pad on it, dumped down low, that off the post. That'll be a reset. Fresh clock for the Monarchs.
Saw that coming with Jordan Dance down in the crease.
So a weapon is Jordan Dance. Sometimes he's the quarterback. He'll facilitate. Other times he'll slide down left crease. And not expecting that pass, and it was a good one on the money. But the Steelhawks now will come away with it. Upshot will work to half boards. Done his job. He'll retreat. Just coming off injury, his first game here in the Arena Lacrosse League this season. Edie looking for an opening. On the run, that shot again. Good pad save. And that's going to stay here with the Steelhawks with 2:39 to go, third quarter. Pilcher looking for the roll. Has Tyler Halls all over him. He'll dump it off to a trailer. And Edie, long shot. No chance of getting through there. Monarchs now will bring it in transition. Halls. Halls will flip it off. He'll head to the bench. And the Monarchs now will go back to work here with 10 seconds to go in the power play. Again, no big rush here as they have a commanding 12-goal lead. That shot wide of the mark. That's going to erase the penalty. So teams are back to full strength, and it'll be possession Steelhawks deep in Monarchs territory. Monarchs now being very deliberate. And again, Blair, interesting, you spoke about looking for the good things as Zabalks squeezes one through. So Travis Zabalks on the scoreboard. And they certainly needed that and plenty more.
That's one of those where it just caught Watson's stick on the plastic and turned it. And it's unfortunate for Watson, but you know what? Once again, I like what the Steelheads are doing offensively with their player movement. I like it.
Well, it was a good shot from a good spot by Zabalks, and he got enough on it to, so that Watson wasn't able to stop it. So give them credit for that, for sure. But they're going to need a lot more out of him and a couple of the other guys, including Cody McMahon.
Well, one of the things I've been impressed with is, and I think this is something that the coaches have got to look at, is they've got to get Dylan Hutchison involved more in their offense with his speed, with that step.
Looking for an opening, but not able to split it was Cole Spear. As good rotation on the D by the Monarchs. And they will have to hustle to get it over the timeline, and they do. Dance now, so Dance will slide over to his wrong stick side before moving around and finding his way back over to the left side. Postma on the run, looking down low. 2 on the shot clock, tries to dunk behind, nothing doing, and it's a violation with 27 seconds to go here in the third. So Jordan Medeiros is going to get a penalty. I'm not sure, Blair, how you can not call that.
Yeah. They've got to leave the ball alone when it's a situation like that. And in the situation where it was a 30-second violation, and they know enough they can't touch the ball. They touch the ball, they're going.
Well, you got to know that. You don't want to put your stick in a guy's helmet either.
Oh, well.
While he's
Why not?
Well, before the whistle's even gone.
Depends on what you're trying to do.
See, now you're talking real old school for sure. McMahon with all kinds of time. Stopped by Watson. Rebound, no. Picked up. Fresh clock for the Steelhawks. Working behind the net. Looking for a cutter. Kick it out right side. Swung back to the top in Pilcher. Back over to the right. Too far of a shot. Not the best shot selection. That's a violation. Going to be Monarchs ball. Better watch. Play it where it lies. That's exactly what happened. Right at the buzzer. Samuel Clare with his 4th of the game. And man, oh man, when it rains, it pours. And
the Steelhawks bench is upset at this, but they can't. The only person they should be upset at is their 2 defenders who were both caught flat-footed.
And I guess if you're going to take some good out of that quarter, you got to figure that the Steelhawks were only gave up 3 goals.
And they doubled their output.
To get 2. So you got to look at the bright side of things as they go back to work here with a minute 15 to go in the Vision Wear power play. Pilcher looking for an opening, dumps it off, sidearm. That 5-hole is closed, and the Monarchs now will bring it back.
The other positive they can look at, too, is they got some great saves from their goaltenders that quarter.
And that's something that they hadn't had in the previous 2, so you're absolutely right, Blair. And again, not fishing for stuff. You always got to look. When it's regular season, it's going to be a bit of a roller coaster ride, and the whole idea is to make sure your team is better at the end than they were at the beginning. In transition, McMahon, big save. Watson stuck the arm out denied McMahon that far corner, and the Steelhawks now will get it again. Taking it right back, but too sharp an angle for Hutchinson. Ball loose, tried to slide it back to Pilcher, nothing doing, and the Monarchs now will bring it back.
Cody McMahon is not a guy that you want to give that many opportunities right on that crease because he will make your goaltender look bad.
I expect if he gets that opportunity again, I expect him to do something a little different and finish. As that shot on target, but Lazy picking up the rebound and burying it is Tanner Buck.
Defenders just stood there looking at it.
Well, flat out lazy, and unfortunately, that's the name of the game. Moving it up, transition, right on the logo. And the Monarchs now will bring it back. Bad pass will go around, and I think you can, as a coach, you can accept a beating because every coach has been on the receiving end. You've given one and you've received one or 2 or 10, whatever. But what infuriates them is your lack of effort. And when you don't try, that is what's going to upset a coach.
Yeah. You can't, as long as there's an effort being made and that effort is both defense and offense, you can accept a loss. And they're going to occur. But when you just get lazy and don't do things, then no.
Well, when you got 3 guys standing around and one guy comes and scoops it up and, buries it from right on the crease, that's when you don't say anything to your goalie, but you have plenty to say to your D. That shot goes wide. That's going to go the length of the carpet. And the Monarchs will let it go all the way into the net just to slow things down. And the Steelhawks will have to take it deep in the left corner. In the right corner. 12:15 to go here, fourth quarter. Monarchs have never trailed in this game. They've led from the opening face-off. Good job by Grant Scott to corral that and move it up. No reset. Quick shot on the mark. Picked up by Watson, and he'll move it up the other way. Almost intercepted. Toronto now will bring it over the timeline and be very deliberate here as the clock is their friend. That shot was a tricky one and a nice one. Ed Renault. Renault has been a real force. Steelhawks looking down low. McMahon stopped this time point blank on the crease. So, in baseball you talk, Blair, about hitting being contagious. I think you look at some of the goaltending for the Monarchs, and it's been contagious. Wendy set the bar, and when you look at what Watson's done since he's come in, he's played equally as well.
Yes, he certainly has. They've got nothing to complain about with this.
Postma, big underhand, forces a turnover, ducks and eludes one defender, and another cuts back in, goes to the underhand wide. Corralled, though, by the Monarchs, and they don't get a reset, but 15 on the shot clock as a delayed penalty's coming to the Steelhawks. Postma bucked a bit and lost his footing, and we will have another Visionware power play.
They're lucky they got away with the one right there on Postma because that could have been a second one for like an illegal cross-check because he came down on top of him when he was on the ground.
So Patrick Miles out there as, again, a no-look power play, giving everyone a chance here. Miles, bounce shot wide. And most of these guys defensive specialists here. So Blaine Manning changing things up, giving guys a little bit of work at some different positions, and that's probably a good use of the remainder of this game.
It's also a situation where you're not going to get certain people injured.
Give and go, almost slipped that one through, was Cole Spear. But Watson got enough of it that it trickled wide, and the Monarchs now will bring it back with 9:45 to go in the fourth.
And as we said that about guys not getting injured, out comes Jordan Dance.
Well, I think he's been off for the last 2 offensive sets, so you certainly want your guys to be, still want them sharp. And you know, you get in a game like this, and it's tough. Sometimes you get a little complacent. The guys get a little lazy. They know they've got a lead, and we're going to have ourselves an official's timeout. Good to go, 9:25 to go here, 52 seconds left in the Steelhawks minor. And the Steelhawks now will have some time to kill. Edie bounce shot, handled easily by Watson. He'll send the outlet soft bounce on the carpet. Steelhawks fighting for it, bat it back, and it's picked up and moved up. Got numbers, and looks like a too many men call. And I think it's going to go.
Somebody got crossed up. There's definitely 5 guys on the floor for the Steelhawks, definitely.
Yeah, well, let's see what. Well, they're going to have to get the in-house in the box, which they do in Salinas. Sorry, not Salinas. Garrett Lewis goes. And the Monarchs now with a 2-man advantage. 5-on-3 situation. They'll keep Patrick Miles back as the safety. And they'll work it around the horn. Try a quick stick down low. And a fresh clock for the Monarchs. And again, they'll be very deliberate. They're not here to make a mockery of anything, as 1 penalty's out. And it's a 5-on-4 now as Miles will retreat to the bench. And the Monarchs will bring out another offensive weapon in Renault. Down low, quick stick, Jordan Dance. Who else?
To somebody at that crease, look out.
Well, I think that's what makes the quick stick so impressive, because the pass has to be on the money and the finish has to be on the money. So Buck again taking it strong, and a collision, but I believe it was
his own man.
His own man that caught him there. That's what it looked like to me. It looked like Dan Ball clipped Patrick Pollock.
100% it was his own man, clipped him right under the chin.
And fortunately, he's up on his own power and okay. Shaken, not stirred. Appears to be okay. So we'll see. He'll just get a little bit of extra attention, make sure there are no cobwebs in there, and get his gear back on, and we should be ready to go. It's going to be Steelhawks ball going up the other way with 8:05 to go. So I think this is one of those games that Gavin Prout and company will have to put in their memory banks and look to return that favor next time when they have a full lineup. Zabalk's looking across to Pilcher, bad pass.
It's one of those that you put in your memory banks, but you don't forget as a player.
And I think that's important as a player, that I think you always remember a good butt whooping, and I think it's safe to say that that's what this has been, as Dance will continue to hold on to it. Has a defender chasing him all around, dumps it off, collision on the right side, picked up by the Monarchs. Shot clock violation. It'll be Whitby ball. Steelhawks move it up with 7:10 to go in the fourth. Hesitation, good cross check, put an end to that. And the Steelhawks will kick it back out. Working on the right side, swung across to the left, duck in, just off the post. So a good shot. Gonna have to come out, gonna be a race for this. And Buck will win that as he let Pollock touch it. Pollock sent it right to him, and Buck, Merry Christmas. I think probably good to err on the side of caution. As the Steelhawks have done great on the draw, they just haven't been able to do a whole lot after that. And battle there with Garrett Lewis. And the Monarchs win that battle again. We'll move it around, and it'll be Claire. Aaron Dance out there, and a little too much there from Postma. And now the Steelhawks will bring it back.
This is a time for Toronto, if there's stuff they want, that Blaine wants them to work on. It's a good game at this point in time in the game for them to do that.
Garrett Lewis finds the top corner off a good pass, and he'll close the gap there to 20-5.
If you want one thing that you can take a positive from this game, if you're the Steelhawks, is been the work of Matt Kim at center. He's been absolutely awesome. I'll bet you he's been about 80% on faceoffs.
I would agree with you. Like I said, certainly no issues on possession. They've done a good job off the draw. In tough, when you start off letting in a couple of questionable goals, then the momentum slides to the other team, and it's awfully hard for your team to battle back. Remember, the Monarchs led 8-1 after 1, 13-2 at the half, and 16-4 after 3. So it's been an uphill battle for these Steelhawks from the opening faceoff. 5.5 to go here in the fourth. Steelhawks in transition. Peroni at the trailer, bounce shot, a little too much bounce in it. It'll go over the timeline, and violation. The Monarchs ball.
And one thing in favor for the Monarchs too, their scoring's been well spread around.
You're right about that. You look at the scores here, you certainly got a whole list of guys finding the back of the net. Postma's got 3, Dance has 3, Renault has 3, Buck has 4, Claire has 4. So there's some guys with some multiple numbers. I don't have the assist tally, but you can figure that between Dance and Postma, they've got to be close to having 10 points each, I'd say, in this game. Salinas faked the shot, pulled it out. Edie. And again, this lineup that you see here from the Steelhawks going to be a different lineup. You'll see as the season goes on, as they're missing quite a few guys to other commitments and to injury, including last year's reigning MVP in Austin Murphy. Monarchs will bring it up over the timeline in transition. Matt Hodgkins. Throw it back up to the top. They'll swing it around to the right side. Looking down low, posting up. Steelhawks now with a chance in transition, one-on-one, waiting for a trailer, and
No.
probably an ill-advised shot from Peroni.
Especially when you had the guy coming out of the box on the fast break.
You're agreed. Ball on the side. Jordan McKibben working in traffic there, and it's going to be another official's timeout. .327 mark here of the fourth. Monarchs in complete control here, as they have been from the beginning of this game, and that's going to send both combatants off. Dylan Hutchinson's going to go. And a few choice words from Campbell Parker and Might even be best to escort both these two gentlemen into the change room with.
I think LaRue's going with him.
Well, that's just a dumb move there, but
Discipline.
so the Monarchs now will go to work here, 4-on-4. Good stop, steered aside there by Bailey.
Looks to me like Jordan Dance has got a good position right beside Blaine McCauley with his helmet undone.
I think that's probably a good spot for him here in this game.
Amen.
He's certainly done his job, and this one's all but in the books. Good cross check and stick check. Monarchs, though, managed to pick up that loose ball. Good flip. Man open down low. They find him. Tried to find that corner, but Bailey Brown right there. Steelhawks now will try to move it up. 2:30 to go here, fourth quarter. McMahon, haven't seen him in a while. Passes it into coverage. Not the best choice to find Cole Spear. And the Monarchs now will bring it up as the officials do a good job to stay on top of everything. And the Monarchs now will work the clock. 40 seconds to go here in the man advantage. I can't imagine they'll attack. One of those situations, Blair, you don't want to play keep away. You want to keep your guys sharp, but at the same time, got to have a little bit of sportsmanship knowing you're going to play these guys a couple more times during this regular season.
Surprised they didn't get too many men on the floor right there.
Steelhawks now will trot around. No reason to really go overly hard. This game's in the books. Shot clock down to 5. Edie on the run. Didn't touch anything, so that's going to be a violation. The Monarchs now with 1:12 to go here. We'll just try to run things out. And this is one of those games, Blair, you just don't want any injuries. You don't want any suspensions. You just want to be able to get out of here with the W. Fight in the corner. Good job by Upshaw. Got it up and out. And we're in the final minute here of this game. Riley Palmer. So the Steelhawks are going to remain winless as they're going to drop to 0-5. The Monarchs came in at 500. They will up their record now to 3-2. And that will inch them one step closer in the standings, as of course you have the undefeated Shockwave at 5-0 and 3-1 for the Peterborough Timbermen.
I think there's like about 0.3 of a second difference in the.
And that's the ball game, and quick